Hello everybody, my name is Meta_Meister, and welcome back to another episode of Stasis. I can't help but get the feeling that we're reaching the end of our journey here, as that epic music was pretty epic.
Toxicity is at an elevated level.
And this time I'm smart enough to get them moving.
The words. I can't even.
What do you see?
What kind of a monster would do this? These women, these poor women.
Jeez.
This is torture. This is
Science.
A defibrillator. And it looks like it's fully charged.
these women must have families and lives.
You can't do anything for them now. Soon this ship will run out of oxygen. They won't be in pain for much longer.
A second in this place is more torture than anyone should bear.
I'm here to help. I'm gonna help you. Just close your eyes. Just breathe in and out. Soon you'll wake up from this. I don't think that'll work. It doesn't work like that.
They don't look human.
Hybrids?
I can't tell.
When did we start naming them? Sorry, this is just really kind of messing with me a bit.
I think that would break. I don't know what I was thinking there.
I don't know what you want, man.
I don't think this will fit. I don't know what I was thinking
Oh,
there.
there's a computer terminal. Did I not read that? Updated by Dr. G. Malin, Kane Corporation. All rights reserved for the eyes of the Kane Board of Directors only. Seed is an attempt to create the ultimate super soldier by, in simple terms, activating junk strands of human DNA. Over the years, the human genome has shred or made dormant certain strands of its own DNA sequence for various evolutionary reasons. Professor Salam Gurund observed that certain dominant parts of these genes were not so much junk as they were potential, that is, genetic information contained and completely sublimated by a dominant gene. Professor Gurnud engineered an early life form based on this original theory by introducing these identified genetic strands in the early stages of embryo formation. The initial concept was intriguing, but its ultimate result was a group of uncomfortable animalistic creatures. Version 6 of this proposal is to update these same dormant genes into the human makeup by use of genetic splicing, thereby introducing desirable physical and mental characteristics over a generation to produce fast-learning, hard-to-kill, utterly ruthless soldiers. Dr. G. Malin. Her vital signs are steady, certain hormone levels are extremely high, but I'm countering this with a judicious administration of depressants in each case. Survival chances very high. She is young, healthy, and there is no sign of any infections or complications capable of disrupting the birth. Recommendations: keep her under observation prepare for phase 1 treatment. The subject, despite her promising early progress, appears to be failing. Supposition is that she cannot withstand the foreign genetic structure that is being fused into her body. Typical signs of rejection are being displayed. Recommendations: observe for an additional 24 hours. If there are no signs of improvement, then termination and disposal of the patient is recommended. The subject is progressing well as being aesthetically attractive. She has all of the other genetic traits required. Initial concerns about her suitability voiced by Dr. Malin, chiefly due to the number of her sexual partners, have been proven unfounded. She will be a perfect carrier. The hybrid DNA is fusing to my satisfaction. Apart from a small amount of pain, her body appears to be coping with the adjustment. I have prescribed her a steady dose of anesthetic to keep her subdued and comfortable. Since delivery, hybrid subject 302 has been kept inside an incubator. Due to its respiratory distress, assisted breathing is required. Cardiac arrest has occurred, and use of automated external defibrillator has been required to revive the child. I deduce that the conditions and sickliness are due to the late molecular bonding between hybrid and host DNA in the mother. A weak nervous system is also highly likely in this case, but the subject's regeneration abilities can be stimulated with steroids. Conclusion: the child is weak but will survive. The mother is suitable for continued breeding. Isn't that just the ray of sunshine in this otherwise very sunny and nice
Don't worry.
day?
I'm here. I'm gonna help you. Soon you'll be out of here. This is just a bad dream.
I don't really know what I can do.
These don't go well together. I don't think this will fit. This isn't gonna work. Maybe. No.
I'm really at a loss here as to what you want me to do, game. Making it across the mutant laboratory. Setting massive flesh and bone. Conjoined twin hybrids. Overgrown hybrid. Readout screens. Preserved conjoined twins. Terminals. PDA. Man, that lady from shipping won't get off my back. You have sex with a girl and real good, and she just comes crawling back. If she doesn't get out of my hair, I'll have her moved off ship. Dr. Malin is mean, but he looks after me like that. I gotta say, being on Project Seed is awesome, man. Okay, so we gotta do some pretty noxious stuff, but in exchange, I get a lot of protection and an honorary title. Dr. D. Santotis. I like it. Dr. Malin knows about my contracts and private cargo that arrive on board, and he knows he hates it. And I know he hates it, but there ain't anybody else prepared to work under Dr. Backman. That guy is one twisted dude. And also one of my best customers. I get imports, sure, but my own private lab is what can manufacture Backman's pathway stuff. Funny, I never realized how dependent these smart dudes of science are on drugs. Personally, I never touched the stuff. You ought to have your wits about you, man, especially around here. Wow, Dr. Williams. Charlotte, I never would have figured that uptight woman was sleeping around, but holy hell, she just gave me the ride of my life. Who would have thought it? Slinky lace under that lab coat of hers, and for a woman in her mid-40s. A body that makes you want to get on your knees and howl at the moon. Okay, game. Against the table, pressed up against the viewport windows, on top underneath, like a rattlesnake. Of course, she's Looney Tunes. Probably thinks I'm her dead husband or something, like I care. As long as she keeps coming to me to fulfill her needs. Crazy but smart, and she has no idea how much I know about her little project. I saw the details. People just think I'm smart talking. But I've been trained on the Groom Lake since I was 16. I studied chemistry and genetics, aced all of it too. She thinks I'm too stupid to understand. Thinking I could have gotten myself into deep here. The drug thing was fine, but this whole industrial espionage thing is kind of freaky. I don't think Dr. Malin knows. I know Lincoln watches me with an eagle eye, but he can't know for sure. If he did, he'd eject me from the ship with the rest of the failed hybrids, but the money's good. I earned my year's salary by sending home info to Black Star Industries. My contract gave me more money than I could conceive for leaking one report. One. I met the guy while I was on leave. He was a smug dude, but somehow he knew what I did, and then he flashed the cash. I've got no loyalties to the company, and I know how Dr. Malin treats loyal staff. That guy can turn on a dime when it suits him. I've heard of weird stuff going on in the decks below, and Ceda's me feeling it'll soon be time to get out of Dodge, pronto. 1 or 2 more reports might just give me what I need. Nobody knows about my little acts of espionage, but who'd care? The ship is falling apart. Some of those things from Backman and Malin made are on the prowl. I stashed away my cash, and as soon as I heard things were going wrong, but money ain't gonna make a split's worth of difference if we all get killed. Malin's taking this all way too calmly. Actually, I'd say he's rather enjoying all this. He came into the lab this morning. He still makes us all report to the lab, and was grinning the whole damn time. His eyes all red like he was coming down from a high. That guy does not need drugs for a high. His general messed upness is what he rides. And here he was thinking Backman was the crazy one. It's just us. Oh God, not even Backman's around anymore. Charlotte was dragged away to the labs a few days ago. We're sealed off from the other decks. I reckon it's only a matter of time before Malin decides to do something about me too. I've been living on the ship for years. I know about hidden passages that even Malin doesn't know about. I'll get over to communications array and let off a signal. Hopefully it'll get us before Dr. Malin finds out. That, ringing is really annoying me. Jeez.
How can we allow this?
This is the purpose of the group link. It's not on Earth. People can't see it, so they don't care.
But if they knew?
So what?
Report by Dr. C. Williams. During the autopsy of Harvard 604, there were signs of renal failure. It appears the kidneys were unable to process the amino acids required for the breakdown of nutrients. The damage to liver, stomach, and intestines show the same degenerative patterns. Reason? It is possible that the report of the mother giving birth 3 months prior was an error. Further reports regarding the failure of mutagenic compounds will be finalized later.
If they were more open, this wouldn't happen.
Open to who? The people? Governments?
Other corporations.
What cost?
A bit of our humanity, I suppose.
There's another PDA there. They said I'd never make it to 60. Ha! 85. Old and still cooking with gas. These kids and I outlived them all. So, I was young when I had them. Those girls never even knew I was the father, of course. Had to switch the DNA samples. They didn't know they were mine. I'm too old for that now, but you never completely lose your eye for ladies. Wait, what? I might have false teeth, Dr. Malin, but I am no moron. For the good of humanity, I am a sociopath. An alleged rapist of women, but your little speech to the crew was less than sincere than anything I could say with a straight face. At least you know how to turn a blind eye whenever I have to get rid of some troublesome subjects, right, Malin? The new gas for the chambers is working splendidly. An improved kill rate of 60% on the old formula. I watched those poor subjects writhe and die. We have a viewing window now, just so we can make him sure it's done. If I were a moral man, I'd call it perverse. It's lucky for Project Seed that I couldn't care less. I thrive when I don't have to answer to anyone with a conscience. This will not do. Not at all. I need more subjects. The rejection ratio of the DNA splicing is stratospheric. So not only do I need more bodies, but I need better ones. They bring me imports and strays, but the best results are achieved with crew members. One cannot prey too often on those, of course, no matter the need. My chosen ones were always the ones who wouldn't be missed. The furnaces are inadequate for my disposal requirements. I'm told they're so hot they could destroy dark matter. They seem slow to respond when burning flesh, though, and smell is hardly pleasant either. It reminds me of that injured dog that I found as a little boy growing up in Missouri. It looked at me with a pleading look, the kind a sick patient gives a doctor they trust absolutely. Naturally, I had stomped on the mongrel's head. It was a mercy. There are too many in society who have similarly damaged disposition. It's a kindness to snuff out their worthless life. I must get more pathway. A little Dr. Santos is usually more than forthcoming with its ingredients, but he says his own suppliers are having problems. I know you, Dr. Santos. I know you're not a real doctor. I know the kind. I have 5 PhDs, and can tell you when men have been hired for their instincts rather than their knowledge. Meanwhile, the cutting and splicing continues. Oh, and Charlotte, we all know about your little experiment, you stupid person. First, she kills her partner by accidentally exposing him to a lethal virus. Then she goes gaga for him. That sort of beautiful incompetence that slays me. I spent years perfecting the art of the kill, making a murder appear a mishap, and then she went and did it all completely by accident. What perfect nonsense. I held the subject down today and used my surgical hammer to cave in his windpipe. Then I gouged out his eyes and tried to rip his jaw from his socket. My goodness, what an outburst. I'm becoming careless. I need more pathway. Dr. Malin is starting to worry that my tendencies cannot be controlled. He need not worry, I'm still focused on the seed. Seed is still just that, a seed. But this chrysalis will soon break open and blossom. The successfully bred Homo novoi wait in their containment cells, while their unsuccessfully brethren, reduced to a viral mulch that's already breached the containment seals of the ship, grow. Its genetic makeup might be little more than trash, but it's astoundingly tenacious. I have to respect that which kills with such efficiency. I woke up in the emergency room today. Somebody found me on the stairs. I can't remember much. What I do know is that both my legs are up in casts. I better get comfortable because Dr. Grammy says I'll be here for at least a month. We die as the Novi cuts us down, but I'm not ready to be replaced by a new species. Our creations are impressive, but I don't share Malin's fanaticism for what has happened here. I must try to make sure one of the lifeboats is still available for me. A shame that there was not another for that delectable young thing. What was her name? Callister? I would have liked to have found her when the ship was going down. She's dead, however. How unfortunate. Sorry. I may be old, but I'll tear anyone who tries to stop me from leaving a part at my limbs. I have survived police investigations, court cases, vengeful spouses, and idealistic lamb hands. I will gut anyone who trying to prevent my escape, and that includes you, Malin. I will jab out your eyeballs and eat them before I submit to you. Okie doke.
Me? Do you know where you are? It looks dead.
Oh.
Oh, stench. How long have they been here?
Oh, come on! Why? If it makes me do all that bit over... Nope. So why didn't it work the first time when I tried to do it?
I think that would just break it. Easy does it. God, I just hate it. Out. Got it.
What did I get off? Yeah. Because I'm actually not sure what I picked up. There we go. Okay. Just twist the metal. Alright. Oh, hey. Not bad.
Warning. The oxygen atmosphere generating system is no longer functioning. Product failure is imminent.
Is that really what's gonna work? didn't think that was gonna do anything. Now let's go beat on the door. Or shoot it down. That works too. Let's go get Rebecca. Please be okay. I really am getting attached to. Really just want a happy ending.
This shit is straight out of the eugenics war. I taught this in my history class. All of this research will be lost. Does that mean that this was for nothing?
For nothing.
Subject 82509 Lana. Subject's host Tara McCormick, First Lieutenant Marine Liaison. Subject observations. Rambunctious subject appears to have inherited her mother's powerful physical build and latent aggression. Lana has the makings of an excellent alpha female candidate. Recommendations: move Lana to group cell as isolation appears to promote irritability. Subject 82517 Daryl. Subject's host Willow Broody, nurse, medical deck. Observations: quiet but intelligent. Attempted to pick the lock of a cell yesterday but failed to escape. Excellent puzzle-solving skills. While not especially aggressive, has a strong build. A thinker clearly. Subject 82522 Frederick. Subject's host Mary Maxwell. Non-crew member. Character from Foes. Subject observations. Subject shows little of his mother's solid frame, but is a superb hunter. Stalks and learns tactics by observing the others, appears to be developing a strong tactical mind. Subject 82599 Nay. Subject's host Ellen Marichek, which is your wife. Space tourist. Subject observations. One to watch. Cunning, extraordinarily fast, and dangerous. Appears to prefer isolation as attempting pairing results in fatalities. Takes an alpha role easily. Dominates the other Novi. A definite candidate for Alana's mate. Oh, Francis, I still lie awake thinking of you. You haunt my dreams, my nightmares, my fantasies. We found love, dear, when we worked in King's Sydney's lab, creating viral strains that could turn a human inside out. We loved and made love. Ours was a match made in heaven. We worked on only the most exciting viruses and pathogens. Our work together was a Mozart requiem, a piece of perfection. My work now is pale imitation of what it once was. Oh, Francis, how long ago was it now? It must be 10 years, but it feels like only yesterday. You were too sick to transfer to the Groom's Lake when I did. You died just as I took up my post, but don't fret, my angel. I've begun concocting a way to bring you back to life. I've always called you my little Frankenstein. Do you remember? Shredding the boundaries between life and death was always your ultimate goal. Well now, with Project Seed entering its second phase, my plan can finally be put into practice. The laboratories are off limits between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m., so that's when I work. Naturally, I prepare all the calculations and machine settings in my quarters. I keep the subject under a false name in one of the pods. So far, not even Dr. Malin knows what I'm doing. Each major laboratory operation I perform takes no more than 1 hour. I always erase the machine records at the end of each one. I'm using your DNA, my darling. With the enhanced regeneration abilities of the genetic material we've already synthesized for Seed, you will be reborn, but you'll be impervious to physical degeneration, immune to sickness and pain. I've done what you would have wanted and made you perfect. And when you step healthy, unblemished, and reconstituted from your glass womb, you will never leave me again. Things have felt strange lately. My work continues, but I swear, darling Francis, I can feel you watching me. I'm trying to work longer hours to complete the new and reborn you, but it's not easy. Marvin has already had a look at some of my work, I'm sure. And as if he'd have any concept of what I'm trying to achieve anyway. That's very loud, game. I still wonder, my darling, why you cursed me as you died. You know it was an accident. I know you remember that it wasn't murder. I've never committed a murder, not even when we tested that pathogen on those troublesome neighbors. It was an experiment. How were we to know that you'd choke to death on your own innards? I suppose death was a possibility, but that's science. I fear for your continued life. I'm afraid Malin knows. Who else knows? Have they contaminated you? I'll run extra tests to make sure your code is not flawed or altered in any way. I'm anxious. I've started scratching my arms badly at this rate. I may end up looking like that leprous toad, Backman. Oh, my dearest Francis, I have failed you. Malin knows. He confronted me about it directly. He wants me to make you just like them. I cannot have you crawling on all fours like some dog in the street. The very idea offends me. I will protect you with my life. You will be reborn. I swear this on my life. We're taking here. Nope. Alright, everybody. I really want to keep playing because I feel like I'm really close to finishing the game, but we're really kind of hitting that critical point. So I'm going to go ahead and end the episode now. I'm pretty sure the next one's going to be the last one. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and I really hope you come back for the finale. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you guys for the finale. Don't you have a...
Okay, that was well done.
You know, dude...
Oh, good God! Good God in heaven!
Questions, and then you're like...
I don't want you to ask me questions and just be quiet. You big old dummy.
So...
The shades.